on. Hi everyone. We're here in Live Europe with Inês from Casa Capitão in Lisbon and Fernando, General Coordinator of Live Europe. How are you?
Oh, sorry. I'm good. Thank you.
All good.
Okay, so it's going fine so far?
Fantastic, yeah, we're having an extremely busy program
Yeah.
here this 3 days that we're in Italy, but I think it's going really well.
Oh, I think it's been amazing. It's been super fun. We've been spending quite some time here at Santeria, and it's an amazing venue. And
Yes.
thank you so much, guys, for having us.
Thank you, we're very excited to have you here. So let's start with our questions. I wanted to ask you both, we decided to do these interviews in pairs because we thought it was nice to confront, have a moment of discussion, even if you have different jobs, and so we thought it was very nice like this. And I wanted to ask you, how do you think, how important it is to promote culture in Europe by highlighting its cultural differences?
Yeah, I think it's, we have a crisis in Europe, right? Europe is not sexy, actually. When you look at a lot of countries, there's this anti-European resentment growing more and more. We see it in Hungary, we see it in Slovakia. We also have a lot of extreme right-wing parties in other parts of Europe. We talk about Portugal, we can talk about France, Belgium to a certain extent, the Netherlands. And I think for our work in Live Europe, actually the work we've been doing to get these music venues to collaborate, exchange artists, and bring a bigger diversity of these young European artists to their stages and helping connect these artists to their audience. It's really giving a friendly face to the European Union, actually. I think there's really this missing element there that, like, music actually is a cool thing. It can be a very universal vehicle that speaks to people and can really, make Europe cool.
Yes. Well, I think, and as Fernando was saying, I think at this point in which we are, which is a price point, we really do need to take advantage of the good things that the European Union has, as in like not having like a very strict border policy and everything. And I think that's much of the work we're doing, is to be able to make people travel from one point to the other, and music being in the heart of it is just amazing. And yeah, that's it. I believe that at this point where like every single value that Europe has is like being criticized at some point, we really do need to take advantage of it.
In this way, for what you said, there's like a contamination from each country in this moment where more artists can perform or do an exhibition with other artists from other countries. So it's very cool that you're here and you're doing this for us and everyone.
One question is it's a difficult thing as one person is, European Union. It's a lot of country, okay, and how is think about the venue and the festival as one promoter of Europe? I don't know if I'm clear. Because you represent Portugal, okay, and other people represent their country, and how is think in common is and not think of I'm Portugal, I'm Italy, collaborate is difficult, or it's
I think it's something very beautiful to work on. And I never thought, like, I've been doing programming for like 2 years. I started in music arts, which now turned into Casa Capitão. and it's very beautiful how Live Europe has opened my eyes in a way that I did not ever thought it was possible to have like a program that helps like, I don't know, an Ukrainian artist come play in Portugal in such a like, not, of course it's not easy, you know, but it's easy. And I think that's something very beautiful, and it's something I believe in and I really want to cherish and continue to develop. And yeah, I have to thank Live Europe because it opened my eyes a lot for it, and it's very important. And that's also one of the core values which I believe we're all here for, you know, to be able to exchange culture, and not only for us to get to like experience culture from other places, but to also provide for them, you know, and I think that's something that very good. I don't know if there's anything to say.
Yeah, maybe from a very practical standpoint, we talk a lot about the European single markets, but you know, for the music market, you still have very much 27 different markets that are not very well connected, and there's a lot of challenges there. There's double taxation, there's of course all the costs that come with crossing borders, and I think this is where initiatives like Live Europe can come in and actually make a difference in that, and connecting these countries better.
And how can you try to connect these countries and music? Because I think in the last years, for example in Italy, some artists are very attached to their tradition, musical tradition, but they're trying to export their music in other countries, even maintaining our own language, so Italian. So how do you think it is possible right now in 2025 to do this thing?
We start from the fact that actually these days people are much more open to listening to music in other languages than they were perhaps 10 years ago. So we're seeing a lot more of these artists singing in their own language. I think Rosalia, for instance, is a success story. But on the Italian side, you have, of course, a lot of success stories, typically like Mischeta, who's absolutely been taking took over the Live Europe stages in this past years, and we're very proud to have supported her amongst many others. I feel overall the behavior of the audience is changing, of music listeners is changing, and people are really more listening to music with their hearts even more than with their ears. On our side, actually on Live Europe, we saw a big increase in the number of artists singing in other languages than English. So typically now we see, compared to pre-Live Europe, 2.5 times more artists singing in languages like Italian, Spanish, Ukrainian, Portuguese, Czech, and the list goes on, than they did before in English, which seemed to be the default language when you wanted to export your music. So I think the situation changed now.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And one thing that I've been noticing is a lot, and all thanks actually to the work we do with Live Europe, is that I think there are a lot of communities surrounding music that focus in music that are born in the internet. And like, I see a lot of kids like doing trap music now, and like really small trap collectives in Lisbon and in Portugal that get to know other artists that live, for instance, in Lithuania.
Okay.
And they come to me and they're like, oh, we really want to bring this artist here, and I'm like checking if they're in Inês so I can bring them. And it's always very cool to have like people getting together because of this, you know, and having a project that is so amazing at helping me do that. It's the best. And yeah, that's been happening a lot, like kids coming to me and telling me like, oh, there's this new artist from like, I don't know, Sweden, and we really want to have them in Portugal, and I'm like sending them DMs and being like, hey, what's up? They want to come play in Portugal, and it's working out. It's just amazing.
I think that's great. So you're keeping an eye out on other artists from other countries, and how is the audience and community responding to like Portuguese audience responding to like Swedish artists or other artists?
No, it goes on super well, because like whenever this is the process you go through, like being like super close to the people who really listen to that artist and everything, they're always like thrilled to have someone they have been speaking on the web for like 5 years and being on Discord, and and finally seeing them in person and seeing their gigs, like, it's like heartwarming. It's super, super cool.
Wow, that's good. I wanted to ask you, Inês, Casa Capitão is a relatively young project because it's called
Super young.
Yeah. And so what can you learn from other historic venues that are in like Europe?
Oh, that's a great question. Okay, so Casa Capitão started up as a pop-up during COVID because the whole building was into ruins.
Okay.
And during COVID, you can only have concerts if you were outside and you have food on the table. So, and I was not working there at the time, but it's very cool because it started out as that, and then it went through a process of years of like being rebuilt and everything, and now it opened up, and I have like the immense pleasure to like open up a new venue. And I think what I can learn a lot, and as for instance with Santeria, is that like you really need to be there for not one, not two, not three communities, but you really need to be a safe space where people feel like they're like comfortable and they can bring like proposals and you're open to everything, and not really close yourself in this mindset of the programmer that's being like, oh no, I'm the curator,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
you have to work for the audiences,
Yeah.
and that's really amazing to see all through all of the venues in one of Europe. It's amazing. Yeah.
And Fernando, I will reverse the question. What do you think like historic venues can learn from Casa Capitão that is very young?
The energy, the appetite. I mean, so much, really, especially when we're talking about such a dynamic team that manages to do so much with actually a relatively small team that manages to really deliver so much. I think there's really this spiritual aspect of it that a lot of the older venues can get inspired by the younger venues.
I want to come to Casa Capitão.
Yeah, of course.
Next time we're in Lisbon, we will
please.
come. And what do you see for the future of European music and venues even? Big question. Yeah.
I think we have definitely a lot of challenges. I think overall this was a very difficult year for a lot of music venues. We see that there is audiences' behaviors are changing. Actually, we see, especially the younger generation, they are going out less, they're buying less tickets. When they're coming to the venue, they're also consuming less beverages, which also plays a very big role in various finances. So there's definitely something there on how to crack the code with the Gen Z or even the Gen Alpha actually are soon going to start going out. That would be a start. Other challenges in this?
For sure. I think this like demographic side of it is very important. And I feel like whenever I talk to other programmers for Europe, like the question is always how can we
Io forse ho capito, se no perché ce ne stanno
And
due
I feel like it's very
e non so su
important
quale
to put
modo.
yourself
Poi
in
le
a place
canzoni
where you
perché ce ne
hear
sono due,
what
questo qua di
people
ieri,
need and want.
che ne sa, c'è incredibile.
And I don't know, to
Vabbè,
like
Radio
make
Rainbow.
people
Che fai? Io mo sto
come
aspettando che mi
into the
risponde,
process
gli chiedo se posso cancellarla quest'altra.
Ci starebbe, perché io posso far pure dal cellulare, comunque Radio Rainbow
And I
fa
hope
sempre
that
questo
can bring
però.
the sense of like belonging. And coming back to your question, I really do hope that music gets to be more of a tight community than it is at the moment. I feel like people are very like separated between like, oh, we do rock, oh, we do pop, and I feel like right now with like genres as hyperpop coming up and everything, I feel like there's no need to put things into boxes, and I really do feel that we get to a place where we don't need to put like labels on stuff. And I think that would be amazing to see like the whole creative side of it, like growing up.
So remove borders even from musicians. And okay. I wanted to ask you if you could give each other an advice, what would it be?
I was going to say something that you already did, putting the 7 years back. No, but I think my advice is to keep on doing the great work that we're so grateful for. And yeah, I really, with the project, I don't think my only advice is to keep on going, because I feel like sometimes we're not appreciative enough of the work you're doing, and yeah, that's it.
Stay strong and don't give up. We need more women in the music industry.
Thank you, for
And
sure.
you are definitely the future of it, so.
It's a
Wow, so emotional. Thank you. And last question. Our web radio, it's called Training Day. Training Day, it's a film, a movie that came out in 2001, where, have you seen it? Okay. Where Denzel Washington is in the narcotics, okay? And Ethan Hawke does his first day with him. In this day, all the movie revolves around the first day, and in this day happens very strange stuff, not very legal stuff, so not very good for narcotics. So for us, Training Day, it's a moment in your life or something that happened that you experienced that made you realize something or made a switch in you. What is your Training Day?
Like a trial.
Yeah, a trial,
Yeah.
something that puts you to test and
Not only on work.
Yeah.
Personally, maybe.
That's a great question. Wow.
Sorry, I
Dropped
dropped the bomb.
great, but I wish I could knew the question beforehand.
Today is a training day.
Yeah, for me it's my training day because I don't do interviews.
Okay,
So
Cycling for Brussels is always a training. So you never know if you're gonna get there or not.
okay.
Would this be a training?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to share a day that I don't believe it was like something that made me realize something bigger, but it put me on the spot. We had we were supposed to have this very big artist coming, and it was like sold out in 2 days. I'm not but she was very I don't know, completely batshit crazy. Sorry for the word. And then she was manipulating me and a lot. She was going, if you don't bring me lean, I'm not going to play and everything. And it was the most stressful day of my life. And it made me realize that if you keep on doing this job, you need to be able to put things on a other perspective and not stress as much. And sometimes things are not under your control, and that's the way you have to go.
Not only in job, but it's life.
In life, yeah, of course, in life, yeah. I think sometimes I'm a very big control freak.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
It
so
was
much,
a pleasure
Yeah.
to meet you.
Thank you for having us.
And have a great night. Have fun.
You will.
Don't stress too much.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. It's super funny. Yeah.